Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today we are going to do a little Dawn of Man. It is a survival city builder, covers about 10,000 years, takes you from the Paleolithic all the way up to the Iron Age. So I thought I'd throw it out there and just see what you guys think. Let me know if you like it, like that, and if I should do more stuff on it. But without too much messing around, we are now in the Neolithic stage, and yeah, let's get started here. So here we got my village going and whatnot. You can see we got the fields here, kind of like that. I got them planted. We got forestry going on in the back, and gathering sticks, cutting down trees, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, everybody's busy doing their thing. This is the burial mounds with our totems and our skull poles. You can see they go here and they'll bow down and whatnot. It's the beginning of spirituality, if you will, but it helps with morale and like that. These are our huts, of course. Um, One of our villagers, you'll notice really low, sad face, so low morale right now, right? So she'll be heading over towards the funeral area, and you'll notice she'll get over here and she'll bow down and pray and whatnot, like these guys are, right? So that just, as I say, it improves on their morale and makes them happier and whatnot. You find if they do have low morale and whatnot, they'll tend to get sick. And once you're sick in this game, of course, no antibiotics in this age, so you will, good chance you'll die, right? Same as if you cut yourself or you get into an animal attack or whatever. The cuts and whatnot can probably fester and you'll get really sick. So yeah, this is my little village I got going here. I'm doing not too bad. We got just under 40 people right now. Let's see, what else can we tell you what's going on. I'm just about, oh, there's someone who's passed. So this will give you a good idea of what they do. They'll come along, they'll pick her up, and they'll put her in the burial mound here. So yeah, we'll just kind of bide our time here and just maybe speed the game up just a hair so you get somebody to come on over. There we go, right there. So they picked her up, and now we're going to head over to the burial mound, and boom, you see the sledge is now empty, so they've put her in there, yeah. So yeah, that's the burial part of. I'm just waiting to put up some megaliths right now. Oh, there's a bit of bone. Bone's very important in this game for crafting and what have you. Flint and bone, very important. So yeah, we got one of the villagers is mining right now on the megalith. And once that's prepared, they'll come over and put rollers and whatnot underneath it. And then we're going to drag it over to the funeral area. And we're going to stand it upright. And, oh, what do we got? Oh, lion attack, cave lions. Okay, somebody's dead there now. So there we go. Now the dogs are chasing it down. So, oh, got one of the dogs. There we go. Stab, stab. There you go. Okay, so now you see the knife above the lion. We'll butcher that and get the skin, the bones and the meat. And because the dog's dead, no sense wasting that. We'll use the dog as well. Okay, then back to Buddy here, just chipping away. We'll speed time up again here, like I say, kind of get this going. So, of course, the idea with this is we take it over. Okay, there we go, it's ready to go. So now we'll click on prepare to move it. And what will happen is the villagers will come over and they'll put rollers underneath and strap it down to like a sled, if you will, and start to drag it over. And once we get it over to the graveyard there, we'll stand it up, and then they can go up to that and do the gabba gabba hey and what have you. And it's again, it's a morale thing, right? So here we go. Just patience. Come on, guys. Here we go. Come on now. I think this is the one. Nope. A lot of hurry up and wait going on right now. So again, we'll speed this up a little bit. give you a view of the village. See, I got my wooden walls, my palisades going up around. There we go. Okay, so he's come over now, and they see it's got one roller underneath. So then they'll go back and get some more logs, bring them over, lash it down, as it were. Here we go. Yeah, there's Buddy coming over. And there we are, another one. There we are. So he's building the sled now. Kind of zoom in here and get a little better look, I think. There, he's lashed it down. There we go. Let's have a closer look here. Okay, off to get some more materials. There we are. Group participation, as it were. So yeah, this is it's a great little game. I quite enjoy it. As I say, it spans about 10,000 years worth of mankind. It starts off in the Paleolithic, and then the Mesolithic, Neolithic, then you get into the Metal Age, so you know, the Copper Age, and right up to the Iron Age, and like that. So yeah, it covers a lot, and a lot of things go on in here too. Oh jeez, come on, little buddy, you can do it. I think we need some help over here, guys. Yeah, a little help. Little help would be nice. There we go. Yeah, I think we're going to need a few more bodies than that. That thing weighs a fair bit. But yeah, a lot goes on in this game. It's really well done. You know, you've got your woolly rhinos, you got mammoths and all that kind of stuff. You got cave bears, cave lions, cave hyenas, the ibex, malfaux. You got wild horses, wild donkeys, which down the road you can domesticate the donkeys and the wild horses. The ibex, you can domesticate the young, and they will turn into goats. The malfaux, you can domesticate the young, they will turn into sheep. So you get your wool you get from the sheep, you get your milk from the goats. You raise pigs in this as well, so you know, you get the hide and the meat. Oh, the trader's here. Now every once in a while you get a trader comes by, and you barter back and forth for stuff that you need. And I mean, state the obvious here, it's a trader, right? You know, so we'll get these guys over here a bit, and then I'm just going to pause the animation, and oh, somebody new was born, new child. Right on, so that gives us 37 people in the tribe now, and yeah, there's the trader right there. So click onto that, and that's their egg. So now you go through, as you can see, we got some flour. Okay, clicking along. These are all the things on the left, everything that the trader has. On the right, you'll see under settlement, that's all the stuff I have in my stockpile. So straw, we'll take straw because you use that to feed your livestock, of course, and you use it for thatch, for your roofing and what have you. So very important. Well, everything is important at this age, right? So my slings there, I've got an abundance of slings, so I can trade those off and barter with those. We'll get some wooden spears. And yeah, that's about all I want for now. So back to the megalith here. But yeah, there we go, build the old tripod. And in the foreground there, you can see some of my crops growing. And you can, at this point in time, you can grow barley, you know, all your various grains, and then you plant them for in the spring, harvest them in the fall. And then for your winter crops, you've got your legumes, right? So your chickpeas and various other types of pulses. Those are like your winter crops, right? So you've got stuff going all year round. Okay, so one's up now. We'll hit number 2. Wash, rinse, and repeat on this one. So yeah, with your crops and stuff, as I say, that gives you a food source. You've got to be careful you don't get ahead of yourself. That's a large mistake I've made earlier in done 4 or 5 different attempts at this, and I find that patience is the name of the game, because you want to get ahead and you want to build and you want to go forward. But the problem is, if you advance too quickly, then either you don't have the people to do the workload, and of course if they're overworked, they get stressed, they get tired, and their morale drops, they get sick, and of course they die off, right? So you've got to be careful about what you're doing. Same with your livestock. If you've got too much livestock to look after, because in the summer it's fine, they look after themselves, they wander around, they drink from the lake, they eat the grasses. But in the winter you have to stable them, and so you need to feed and water them over the winter months. So if you don't have the straw and the grains to feed them, of course they're going to die off. But if you have too many of them and not enough people, sure, it's died of old age. So there's another one gone. If you don't have the villagers to look after the livestock, then again they get overworked, right? So yeah, it's a real kind of a balancing act, which I quite like. As I say, it's a builder game. The trick is you just don't want to try and advance too fast, right? Here we go. Come on, you guys. Little help over here. And what else then? Oh, and raiders. There's raiders in the game. So, you'll be going along doing your thing, and all of a sudden, you got a bunch of bad boys show up, and of course they want your livestock, they want your grains, they want to kill off your villagers. So that's a constant. Hence, that's why you build the palisade, of course, around, try to protect yourself a bit. I have gone full tilt on the palisades before in an earlier game where, I did like double thick walls and, wolf attack. Okay, these are the things that happens in here. Okay, so they're chasing the wolf. Now what'll happen is if the wolf gets far enough away, he gets to go off scot-free, and they'll give up the chase, eh? Like now, for instance, okay, he's gone. You can hear the drums have stopped, so the raid is over, per se. But what I will do is tag him. You see he's got the X on him, so I'll tag him to hunt later. Same with the cave lions and the bears and whatnot. You got to keep your area. There's predators around, right? You got to protect yourself. So when you get a group of them, whatnot, you got to send your villagers out and take care of the nasties, if you will. Again, you've got to, with that, you have to be careful what you do, because if you just tag them for a hunt and say there's a whole herd, like 5 or 6 lions, and you just tag them for the hunt, what will happen is 1 or 2 villagers will go out. And of course, here we go with the tripod, getting her done. And of course what will happen is the lions outnumber the hunters, and they die. So what you got to do is pre-select 8 or 10 of your villagers, and then send them out with the dogs and hunt that way. It just saves on people dying, right? Which is the name of the game, of course. There we go, a little bit of rain coming. We're in fall right now. If you look up at the top left, you can see there's a little leaf there beside the percentage thing, so that tells you we're going into fall. And of course, as the graph fills along at the bar there, the further into the season we are. Here's my drying racks for my hides. So you take raw hide and you dry it on there. There's my rock piles. These are my storage huts over here, as you can see. There. This is some of the livestock. You got reindeer, of course. You can hunt them. I tend to hunt the bigger game like the orcs, the bison, the bears, the lions, the wolves, because they'll fight back. Whereas your sheep, your goats, the reindeer, wild horses, donkeys, they're fleet and fast of foot, right? And it's just a lot of work. Whereas if you send out a bunch of guys after, say, an aurochs or a grizzly bear or whatnot, then they're going to stand and fight, and you don't have to chase them. So here we got the well. You see the little girl's getting water from the well. Now what she'll do is she'll take that jug there, and she'll go around, and she will go to her hut where she lives, and there she goes into there, and you see she places the water inside her hut, right? So also they'll place them in the storage. So here's your haystacks. You know, we make those for feeding the animals. There's my stables. There's a granary here. So that, of course, you store your grains, your meats, your milk, stuff like that you get. Yeah, there's one stable. Each stable will hold 10 animals. So you got to remember to have enough stables to keep your livestock, because if you don't, then what will happen is they butcher off the livestock that won't fit into the stables. Oh, there's a wolf right there. Now, is that a young one? So what'll happen, you see how you got the lasso and the crossed arrows. So with the young ones, you can domesticate them. So the baby wolves, you will domesticate them and they will turn into dogs, right? The full-grown wolves, there's nothing you can do with them other than tolerate them or hunt them. So what I tend to do is I'll try and tame the puppies, and I cull the adults, if you will. I have tried not culling the adults and just going up and trying to tame the puppies. And of course what happens is, you'll have one or two villagers will go out unsuspectingly to tame the little puppies. And of course mom and dad wolf are there and the fight's on, and people die, right? Whereas if you tag them for hunting, then your villagers are prepared and they'll go out with spears and bows and whatnot. They'll take out the parents first, and then they'll tame the puppy. So that's the wolf. And then if you see over here, let me find one here. No, that's not you. There we go. So, and there we have a young dog there, or an old dog in this case. So that is a wolf that's been tamed and domesticated. And what happens with the domesticated dogs and whatnot, of course they'll help you on the hunts. They help protect the village. And the nice thing about the dogs is they are independent. You don't have to feed them, you don't have to water them. Winter, summer, it doesn't matter. They're self-sufficient. And you can tame as many dogs as you can get a hold of. At one point here, I think I had 20 dogs in one village that I had, and it was just great because raiders come along, and it's like having double the villagers, eh? But also when you have that many there, okay, they're taming the puppy now. So if we watch here, we'll speed the game up a little bit because it's a long process. But so then they talk and they calm them and what have you, like that, and then they will convert and become a domesticated animal. But as I was saying, what happens, there you go, he's converted over. You just notice now he's a dog, right? A young dog. So what happens with the animals, whatnot, you have disease in here. This is one of the mines, a flint deposit. Now you can just send a guy over and chip away at that, or you can make an actual mine and do underground mining, which is a better choice in my mind. Here you see how you can fish, get water, or get mud. Oh, another wolf attack. Let's go see. There we go. And yeah, they got him. Boom, boom, boom. So we'll butcher that one up, take the skin, the bone, and the meat, and Kate's your aunt, Bob's your uncle, and away you go, yeah? So yeah, in the water now, like we were doing, you can either fish or you can get mud. And if you don't have wells yet, then you get the kids to go down to the water with pots, and they'll grab water there and take it back to the village. But once you get to the point where you can dig a well, then obviously it's better to have the wells right there. The same with when you stable your livestock and whatnot. You absolutely have to have a well for the winter, because they can't go down to the river or the lakes in the winter because they're in the stables, right? So you gotta, like I say, you gotta feed and water them. So what we're gonna do here, I'll show you a little bit of fish, and we'll get one of the villagers to come over. You'll see that little. Well, we'll get back to that. Hold on. So yeah, this is my fields here. You have various crops. You've got like your barley and corn. You got 5 or 6 different types of crops and what have you, so all of which will give you straw. And then of course your legumes, they don't give you the straw and whatnot, but barley is kind of your best, because that gives you the grain and it gives you a boost on the straw, right? So what do we got going? No, he's not ready yet. Come on, buddy, let's go. But yeah, you see the little sheep going across there. He's got the little ball of wool above his head. That means he's ready for shearing. And you'll notice there's a sheep right there in the center, just up and to the right. And he's got the slaughter on him because he's an old one, so they'll come along and they'll butcher that one. But this ram here, he's ready for shearing, so that's where we get the wool from, of course. And here we go, buddy, with the sled. And there we go, take him down. And he's going to do his thing there and, you know, butcher him up and like that. We don't know to see that part. We'll just move along here. Okay, there we go. Buddy's going to go fishing now. So he's got his spear out, and you see, jab, jab, and then he throws it to the side, right? And then jab, jab, and then he'll throw it to the side. And then when he gets enough, he'll take the fish back and put them on the drying racks and like that, and then they'll store them in my store huts and houses. Obviously stating the obvious here. Oh, what do we got going on now? Whoop, here we go. Cave lion. Okay, now we'll tag that one up. Come here, you. Well, we'll let it go for the now. Go back over here. We'll catch up to that later. Again, with the lions, I'm leery because you gotta select a group of villagers to go after them. You can't just send out like one guy and a dog because you'll die every time. Okay, so here we go. He's got a bunch of fish now. We'll have a little look-see. I'll show you. So there you see he's got the fish going on. You see the hunger sign up above him. That means he's hungry. So what'll happen is when he gets back, he'll put the fish into the storage hut or on the drying rack, depending. And then if he's smart, what he'll do is head over to the fireplace, sit down, and get himself something to eat. It's most of the time they're pretty good about, you know, feeding themselves, or if they're getting tired, they'll go to the huts and rest. But if they're out on, say you send him out on a long journey, he's got to go to a flint mine, and it's a fair piece of way. If he's not fully fed and well rested, on the way there or on the way back, he could quite possibly die. So here we go. This is an automated flag, and what happens with this, we're gathering sticks or we're gathering rocks. You can automate this so that a villager will go out and do that automatically when the time is right. It's more like gathering berries and, you know, off the fruit trees is important in the spring and in the summer and in the fall. You get busy, you know, doing this, that, and the other, and you'll forget. Whereas if you automate it, then it goes down under your workload and it happens automatically. But again, you have to be careful how much you do of that, because if you don't have the villagers, or if it's, say it's springtime and they're planting the fields, but at the same time, you know, you need to gather sticks and some rocks, well, now you spread yourself too thin, right? And you're going to overwork your villagers, and again, you know, they'll get sick. And like I said, you know, no antibiotics, no nothing in these days. So here you go. This is in my crafter. So we're in here. We use stone and we use flint, and we make our spears, our sickles, our bows, our slings. You know, a biface, stuff like that. So your harpoons for fishing, that's all done in your crafter, right? And over here, this is our outfitter shop. So in here we use the wool and the linen. Now the linen we get from the flax that we grow. The wool obviously we get from the animals, and we turn that into clothing. Leather you craft in the crafter. Now this is a weaver, so this is where we use the wool and the linen to make those clothes, right? So the crafter does the leather side of clothing. This is the linen and the wool, which is, it's more comfortable, it's, you know, more resistant, it's better armor even, so, you know, it's a better way of going, a more advanced way of going. Now a dog's died there. Now if I leave that carcass, it's going to draw in predators. So you want to butcher this stuff right away, because if you don't, you're just asking for trouble. It's going to bring in hyenas, it'll bring in bears, it'll bring in like cave lions, wolves, or like that, right? There's a tan. Oh, there you go. You see just what I was saying. There's cave lion right there, just wandering in, you know, hey, how are you? And there's like 3 of them there, right? So there we go. We'll just, yeah, the fight is on. Okay, so we got the mom, and I think the kids have gotten away. See the palisades there, because when I give the warning and the trumpets are going, people automatically go to their defensive positions. It's the same when raiders come in too. You hit the horn. So we'll sound the all clear here, and people go back to business as usual. So yeah, you got to get that stuff butchered up right away. You leave carcasses around and you're just inviting danger, right? So what are we doing here? We're coming on winter, so you'll notice that the crops are all kind of gathered in. So these are the various spots around the lake. Those white squares. Oh, we got some bears over here. The white squares, as I say, you can fish or gather mud like that. And oryx. So these are bad boys. You go after these guys, you want to have a game plan. They're just like a bear or, lions or whatever. Or same with the rhinos and the mammoths. You don't want to be going out with one or two people. You want to have a game plan. There we go. So what are these bad boys up to? Just wandering around, minding their own business. Now you see my workload up at the top there is up over 100. So I don't want to select villagers right now to go hunting these guys because it's going to overtax the villagers, right? So you got to pick and choose your times. Man, what gorgeous landscape, isn't it? Just absolutely marvelous. I love it, what the developers have done with this game. Yeah. And you've got, different lakes, different rivers, stuff like that. You can choose at the beginning of the game how you want to start. I've done the river thing a couple of times and it's okay. So this time I thought, well, I'll try it by a lake. And I got to say, I much prefer the lake. A lot more livestock to deal with and what have you. So yeah, what do we got? So there's some wild horses. Again, once you get into the Metal Age, you can domesticate the horses and the donkeys. Also, at that point, you can have cattle. But with the donkeys and the horses, rather than people dragging a sledge like we've been doing, there's some Malfoy there. They turn into sheep, as I say, if you domesticate them. So you can get them. There's your donkeys. So yeah, once you domesticate the horses and the donkeys, you've got to invent the wheel, obviously. So you got to get to the Metal Age before you can do that. Once you're in the Copper Age, you can get the wheel going, and then you can have carts and plows. So your horses and donkeys can pull plows. They can pull your cart. Just makes life a lot easier, right? Because who doesn't want an easier life, eh? There we go. There's some flint deposits. So you saw before I had flint mines. Well, if you're early stages in the game and you can't do underground mining yet, well, you go around and there's some more donkeys there. You go around and you're picking the flint up off the ground, literally just going around finding piles of it and picking it up. Now here, if you look up, there's a pile of rocks there, so you can pick those by hand. Here's a mine that I've made, so you can see that we go, rather than just picking up the flint, we can actually go into the mine and go underground, and you're going to get a lot more, obviously. And then when that mine's sorted out, you used all the resources, then we find another one and go from there. Oh, there we are. That's the trader that we were talking about. They're pulling the sled, so they'll be coming over to the village. No, it won't show us. I thought maybe we could see what was on the sled, but good old Gordic. So what do we got here now? Young wolf. So what we'll do, again, select the group, and then we'll select capture. So now you see the 3 puppies. Now with the adults, what I'll do is I'll select them individually, and I'll put them for hunt to cull. And we'll see. It doesn't always work. Sometimes the puppies run away or whatever, but this way, people go over, they'll take out the adults, and then they'll tame the puppies, and bring them back to the village type of thing. And it's just really good defensively speaking. There we go, wolf doing its thing. And you notice it's taking out the young one, not the adults. Eh? That's what I like about this game. It's very, very detailed that way. And a little munch munch, and away we go. Now I could tag that donkey there for butcher and send somebody over to do it, but chances are the wolves are going to be around, or the mountain lions, or the cave hyenas, and you come over there by yourself unprepared, and you're going to get it, right? somebody's caught an infection. Now you see what I was saying? You got cut, you get hurt, now they've got an infection. Now chances are they're going to perish from that. There's not much you can do. There's no real herbs around or any kind of, herbology going at this point. So, you got to be careful. Man, up over hill and dale, eh? I'll be riding that sled down. Like, look, Ma, no hands. Yeah, so this trader will be over at the village here fairly soon, and then we can barter various things for what we need. I always try to go for the obvious. If they've got flour, I'll try and take that for making my bread. Flint is always nice to have because it's such a finite source in this game. Get it where you can and when you can, right? Same with the straw. Even though I'm growing my crops and I got straw, you can never have too much straw, right? It again is a finite source, so it will deteriorate like anything organic over time, right? So the more you got, better off you are, right? As Jon Snow says, winter's coming, right? Actually, we're almost all the way through winter. You'll notice, what do we got? Oh, wolf attack. Anyway, that'll be the 3 puppies. And yeah, there you go. So, they killed the parents, and they'll try and tame out the puppies now. Okay, so back to the village, and we'll see what the trader's got for us this time. Okay, click, click. Get off the wolf there. Wrong button. There we go. And click. There we are. So you see at the top there, you got your goats. We can get those to keep, or we can buy them to butcher right away. Again, straw. Can't have too much of that. Bone. Never have too much bone because, it's for making your spears, your knives, your harpoons, and what have you. And flint axes, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and your bows and your slings and your outfits. Skin outfits, leather outfits, wool outfits. So all barter back and forth, right? If you got a surplus, then away you go, right? So the idea being, of course, you'll notice that on the left the trader's got a 30 and I've got 0. So what'll happen is he wants, say, 54 off. Well, I've got to match that. And then when I match it up and whatnot, you'll notice that the confirmed deal will come on at the bottom. So I'll sell what I need to sell. So he's got 54, so I've got 50. Now I need something that I can bring it up to 54. So we'll give him a few logs of wood. And there you go. And the trade's done. He's happy. I'm happy. Kate's your aunt, Bob's your uncle. Away you go, will ya? See somebody just adding some straw to the pile there. So what else then? Yeah, like I say with the, what do we got? Oh, another wolf attack. There we go. We took care of that in a short time. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Wrong button. That's a dog. I thought that was a baby wolf. We were going to convert it. No, butchering the dogs. Now, hold on. Get out of there, you. Okay. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's pretty much what's going on. It gives you an idea, anyway, of what it's about. It's just never ending. I absolutely love these type of games. It's like I say, it's you're trying to build and survive and expand, and there we go. Butcher that one up. Click. There we go. Yeah, just always good to meat, skin, bone. You need it all, right? Oh, some more wild horses. So yeah, once I get my next expansion will be into the Metal Age because I'm in the Neolithic now. So my next one will be the Copper Age, and once I get there, then I can get a smelter and furnace. I can go around and mine tin, iron, all that kind of stuff. But with that, I can domesticate horses and donkeys, cows. I can invent the wheel and get carts going. So that's going to be interesting. And we'll be doing that fairly soon. I just want to make sure before I advance to the next age that I'm ready for it. But yeah, in a nutshell, there it is. So hope you enjoyed that. Do let me know. Give me some feedback and be good to each other. Yeah. Bye for now.